What were we gonna say?
Fuck's
Hello?
sake. Welcome.
Hello?
No, we can't. We cannot.
Hello, and welcome to Late to School, a Sailor Moon watchcast. My name is Larena, and I've watched most of Sailor Moon.
And my name is Zach, and I've watched one episode of Sailor Moon.
Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna need to figure out where we go from here.
Yes, The impetus of this podcast.
Hold on. Is
What?
this real?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so, until you said that.
Okay.
Unless you want to keep that in. No,
No.
this is good. This is good comedy. This is good television. I know extremely little about anime, and you know significantly more about anime.
Yeah, so how much anime have you watched?
I have watched one episode of Sailor Moon,
Uh-huh.
as mentioned, which we'll talk about. I've watched the first arc of Revolutionary Girl Utena now. I have watched a single episode of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I've watched, like, a couple episodes of the Pokemon anime.
Only a couple?
Well, like, a few, but, like, not, like, very scattered. I never was dedicated to watching it regularly.
Okay.
And I've watched, like, bits of Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, like, off and on, occasionally. Very rarely.
Okay.
Just because I have friends who like it. And I had never watched Sailor Moon before today, actually, so... And you love Sailor Moon.
Yes.
So... As we are friends, you wanted me to watch it with you.
How much did you know about Sailor Moon going in?
I know...
Like, in your soul. Not just, like, stuff I have mentioned offhand that you probably forgot about immediately.
Right. I know it's a magical girl anime,
Mm-hmm.
which is a genre of anime that exists
Mm-hmm.
and is about girls who are magical, generally. I know there's a tuxedo mask, and he doesn't do anything.
Nope.
And he says, my work here is done, and then he goes away. And that's kind of about it. I know they're sailors. I know they're named after planets. Not planets, celestial bodies. Because there's no Sailor Earth, because they're on Earth.
Yes, yeah, uh-huh. For those who somehow aren't aware, Sailor Moon is a anime and manga series created by Naoko Takeuchi. The manga was originally published in Nakayushi, which is a sort of shoujo young girls manga magazine. The anime was produced by Toei, with music by Takanori Arisawa. For this show, we are going to be watching the Viz Media dub of Sailor Moon that was produced in 2014. For most episodes of the podcast, we are probably going to watch 3 episodes of the show. That might increase or decrease depending on, like, storylines, and if there are episodes that go together thematically, put them together. But for this first episode, we're only going to be watching episode 1, The Crybaby, Usagi's Beautiful Transformation.
Great
which
name.
was, yes, fantastic. Directed by Junichi Sato, written by Sukahira Tomita. It aired March 7th, 1992 in Japan, and September 11th, 1995 in English. I guess that just means America? Maybe it also aired that same day in, like, England and Scotland, or the Commonwealth nations in general? I'm not sure.
Also, hey, September 11th?
Yeah, listen, it was 6 years before.
Okay.
Before we talk about, like, the actual plot of this episode, I think we should mention the theme song of Sailor Moon.
Yes.
Which is... How do you feel about it?
I liked it a lot. I enjoyed the opening sequence a lot.
Yeah, the opening is Moonlight Legend,
Mm-hmm.
which was written by Kaneko Oda and composed by Tetsuya Komuro, and sung by Dali, which is not one person, it's a whole girl group.
Okay. Japanese girl groups always have, like, the best names.
Yeah, also, to be clear, it's Dali in all caps, like an acronym.
Good, of course it is.
I couldn't find if it stood for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not, right?
It's probably, like, like Baby Metal, you know? It's just all caps.
Is Baby Metal all caps?
I think so. Also Girls' Generation, although they're not Japanese, I don't
No,
think.
they're Korean.
I was confused by the weirdly foggy, dark, sort of static images opening at first, and then
Yeah.
it transitions into the flowery, poppy music.
Well, that's sort of... We'll see more of that later in the series, I think.
Right.
So we're introduced to Usagi, who is a 14-year-old middle school student.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to Juban Middle School. In the Viz dub, Usagi is voiced by Stephanie Sheh, who a lot of people will probably know as Hinata from Naruto, or possibly Mamimi from Fooly Cooly. You, Zach, will
Yes.
know her as Tharja from Fire Emblem Awakening.
Wait, really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
So for people who haven't heard the Viz dub, Stephanie Sheh's performance is very, high-pitched and, kind of childish and young. She's Usagi. She plays Usagi very well. And Tharja from Fire Emblem is a dark mage, sadist, and just kind of...
Stalker.
Yeah, very...
Sarcastic.
Yeah, not Usagi.
Not very Usagi-like at all.
She's also Kiel in Awakening.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So two characters who are very, very different from Usagi.
Mm-hmm.
We're introduced to Usagi, and she is late for school.
Mm-hmm.
We get this very, comedic slapstick scene of her getting ready and panicking, and her mom just being kinda, nonplussed.
Yes.
Kind of sarcastic, actually, a little bit.
Also, has blue hair. I noted that.
Her mom has blue hair?
Her mom has blue hair, even though Usagi herself is blonde.
Yeah, huh.
Which is interesting to me.
That might come up later. I'm not sure. Her mom, for the record, voiced by Tara Platt, who...
that's a familiar name to me.
She's a lot of people. She plays a lot of characters in a lot of anime. I couldn't find any, very extremely famous roles from her. I know her as Mitsuru Kirijo from Persona 3. She's also another Fire Emblem Awakening character, Flavia.
Okay.
Yeah, so Usagi gets ready for school. Her mom gives her lunch. She runs out the door. Important note about this scene.
Yeah.
What did you discover?
So going in, one of the things I did know from you is that, first episode, Usagi is late for school, and she runs to school with toast in her mouth, holding toast in her mouth. Yeah. And when I was watching the episode, I stopped and asked you, hey, am I watching the right version of Sailor Moon? Because she doesn't have toast in her mouth.
Yeah, so we don't actually see Usagi running from her home. We cut to her leaving her house to a different scene that we'll talk about in a second. The toast scene, the very famous visual of Usagi running to school with toast in her mouth,
yes,
is from episode 47 of the anime.
What?
Yeah. I didn't remember that in any way whatsoever.
Wow.
I don't even know what episode 47 is off the top of my head. So, yeah, we'll get to that eventually, I guess.
I do like that Usagi being late for school is a consistent plot point.
She's a bit of a klutz.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, yeah, we cut from Usagi leaving to her on her way to school. And she comes across just a bunch of really shitty kids.
Yes.
Just beating up a cat in a parking lot.
Yeah.
For no reason, I guess?
Uh-huh.
Also, why aren't those kids in school?
Good question. Well, yeah, because she's late for school, so, they should already be in school.
I don't know how school scheduling works in Japan.
That's fair.
So maybe elementary school kids go later.
Yeah.
But anyway, she saves the cat. The kids run off.
She saves the cat, and then that leads to one of my favorite lines of the episode, I think, which is, they put a bandage on you?
Yeah.
Which is a plot point, but is also, when I first heard it, I thought, oh, that's a visual gag of, this is how putting a bandage on a cartoon character is how you denote that they have been beaten up.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought the joke was.
Yeah, I do wonder if maybe it's a double layer thing. But
yeah, because also, why would they put a bandage on that cat?
maybe the kids didn't do it, I don't know. We'll learn some stuff about that cat in a bit.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, Usagi takes the bandage off of the cat, and it reveals that the cat has a moon-shaped bald spot, is
Yes.
what they call it.
Yes, Usagi calls it a bald spot.
So I guess we have to assume that that's not just, like, yellow fur. It is a
Right.
bald spot that is, like, skin, which is strange.
Yes. Imagine that cat in real life. Just a black cat with a
Yeah.
frickin' moon-shaped bald spot on its forehead.
Usagi and the cat have sort of a stare down, and the cat, like, approaches her menacingly.
Yes. No, because the first thing that happens, she takes off the bandage off the cat, and then the cat jumps onto her head, like, kick flips off her head onto a nearby, like, low wall, and then menacingly sort of stares at her.
Was it a low wall? I remember it being a car.
I can't remember exactly.
I guess it's not important.
Yeah.
The school bell rings, and Usagi panics once more, because she is super late now. We cut to Usagi standing in the hall at school, having been punished for being late.
And also, her teacher...
Her teacher, yes.
Shows her test grade.
Yeah, which is a 30?
Yes.
Which is pretty bad.
Which is pretty bad. That's a solid F, I'm pretty sure.
At this point, I want to say something important about me. Which is that I am Usagi-kin and no doubles. Usagi is me. I'm Usagi.
Of course.
The power of persona has awakened. Anyway.
Well, we meet Naru, right?
Right. So Usagi, she gets her test, and then I guess it's lunchtime? They're not done with school yet at this point.
No.
But we meet Naru and Umino.
Yes, and
Usagi's, like, school friends.
Yes.
Friends?
Friend? Okay, Naru is her friend.
Naru is her friend.
Umino is a jackass, and he's a strange boy, and I don't like him.
Yeah, so the scene is Naru is kind of consoling Usagi, and also kind of shitting on her a little bit.
Which is what friends do.
And then Umino is there also. Umino is like...
He's this... Can I describe Umino, actually?
Real quick, I want to describe... Naru is like she's kind of I think she's meant to just look kind of normal compared to all the other characters.
She reminds me a lot of Wataba from Utena.
Yes, yeah. We'll get to some more parallels between them later in the show. Describe Umino for me.
Umino is this small gremlin child who has giant circular glasses with like a spiral pattern on them for some reason.
Yeah.
He looks like an alien.
Yeah.
And he's just this smarmy jackass smart boy who seems to have maybe kind of a crush on Usagi. Almost inadvertently, but maybe not, just kind of insensitively rubs his, like, 95 on the test in Usagi's face.
Right. For the record, Naru is voiced by Danielle Judovitz, who she doesn't seem to have many major roles. She's a bunch of minor roles. I haven't watched Naruto, so I don't know how important this character is, but just on the off chance that this is someone that people would be familiar with, she plays Tenten. Okay. Umino is voiced by Ben Diskin, who is...
Oh, that's familiar.
Everyone?
Yeah.
His biggest roles, I think, are number 1 and 2 in Codename Kids Next Door.
What in the goddamn? Really?
Yeah. He does a lot of anime, too. He's Haida in Agretsuko.
I need to watch Agretsuko, too.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to that eventually.
But when we finish all 5,000 episodes of Sailor Moon.
Yeah. Umino rubs his test in Usagi's face, and is just kind of generally bad.
Yeah.
Generally a shit. And then Naru starts talking about Sailor V.
Yes. This was interesting to me.
Who Usagi is not familiar with. Sailor V is a superhero who...
like a real superhero.
Like a real superhero. She works with the cops, Natch. And Usagi gets very excited about Sailor V because she seems really cool.
Yeah.
So what interested you about Sailor V?
What interested me about Sailor V is that I had never heard of Sailor V before watching the show.
So the first manga Naoko Takeuchi wrote was Sailor V.
Really?
It was a solo magical girl story. Sailor V is a superhero who fights crime
Right.
and works with the police. We'll get to some of the stuff regarding Sailor V in this continuity later.
Okay.
But suffice it to say, at this point, she is very famous.
Okay. And so the original Sailor Moon manga was kind of a sequel.
Yeah, in some senses, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Usagi is very excited about Sailor V. Then
As am I.
Yeah, fair. Then Naru starts talking about, they talk about how Sailor V fights crime and turns in, like, jewel thieves.
Yes.
And then...
Specifically, like, there was a specific store that had gotten...
Yeah.
She had protected it from jewel thieves.
And then Naru and Usagi start talking about how they understand why someone would steal jewelry.
Yes.
Because it's good and you want to have it.
Because they fucking love jewelry.
They really like jewelry a lot. And this causes Naru to bring up the fact that her family store is having a sale.
Yes.
And she invites Usagi to come out to it.
If I can say something about that, about Naru specifically,
Mm-hmm.
I just love how fucking hype Naru gets for jewelry, despite the fact that her mom owns a jewelry store.
Yeah.
Like, she probably sees jewelry on the reg.
Well, she doesn't get to wear it.
I guess, does her mom not let her buy? There's no family discount?
I guess
anything?
not.
Like, she's so excited about jewelry.
Yeah. Also, for the record, I don't know if this ever comes up in the show, but I feel it is worth mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
Naru's last name is Osaka, and Umino, I don't know about Umino's name. His name is listed as either Gurio Umino or Umino Gurio, and I'm not sure which order is the, like...
Right, yeah, whether, like, because if Umino is his last name or his surname or his given name.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Umino sounds like a last name to me, but who knows?
It also seems like that Naru and Usagi would not respect him enough to call him by his given name.
That's true. That's also true. So yeah, we cut to... Actually, I think we have...
We have the most interesting cut here, I think.
Yeah, so we sort of cut to a scene that isn't given much setup or explanation.
No.
It's sort of this black void.
Yes.
There's
it's
a
like
very... Yeah, sure.
Can I read what I, like, describe this scene as?
Sure.
In my notes? Weird Geiger-esque Batcave is what I described.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
There's like a weird monster face in the stone. There's all these stalactites and stuff. And it's a big, empty, dark space.
It's a big, empty, dark space. And there's a lady there who has a crystal ball. That lady...
Who we also see in the opening, I believe.
Yes. The mysterious lady is voiced by Cindy Robinson, who is, again, just a lot of people in all sorts of things. I think currently I'd say her most famous role is Amy Rose in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, really?
She's also a lot of, like, NPCs in Fallout New Vegas. You would know her as Libra from Fire Emblem Awakening.
God, everybody's in Awakening. I love that.
She's also Nui Baba in Fire Emblem Echoes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Another sort of mysterious, magical lady.
Yeah. She's got kind of a type.
So yeah, she talks about the silver crystal.
Yes,
which
she talks to a crystal ball.
She talks to a crystal ball.
And just my favorite bit is she's asking the crystal ball, "Have you found the silver crystal for our master?"
Yeah.
And then the subtitles literally say, "Ghostly voices, no."
Oh, you watched with the subtitles on.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
And also just the tone with which the ghostly voices say "no" just made me laugh out loud.
Okay.
Because they sound so disinterested. Which is, I guess, how I would feel if I was a ghost in a crystal ball.
Yeah, if you were a ghost that this, like... We probably shouldn't mention her name yet, because the show has not given her name, but...
Well, I mean, they do in that scene, but...
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
She's Queen Beryl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you were a ghost and Queen Beryl was like, "Hey, find the silver crystal for me," that's not gonna be fun.
No.
She wants the silver crystal. She also wants energy for the master, which she has tasked one of her lieutenants, Jadeite,
Yes.
with getting. And we're introduced to Jadeite, who is voiced by Todd Haberkorn.
I so thought you were about to say Todd Howard, and I was...
No, not him.
I had a mini heart attack.
Most people will probably know as Android 19 in Dragon Ball. He is also male Morgan in Fire Emblem Awakening.
Oh my god!
Yeah, So, Jadeite is this sort of... He's a dude. He's got a uniform.
he's just kind of a Draco Malfoy, it seems like.
He is kind of a Draco Malfoy, I agree.
He mentions that he has a monster called Morga.
Yeah, he has Morga getting energy for him for Queen Beryl.
They're harvesting human energy.
Which
we see later.
Jadeite lays out that he's got Morga working on it.
Yes.
We cut from that scene to Usagi and Naru arriving at Naru's shop.
Yes.
And it's kind of a lot. Lot's going on.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people buying jewelry. I guess because jewelry's in the news now, and also they're having a sale.
It's a very good sale. Later in the scene, Naru's mom offers to sell Usagi a necklace that would normally cost 50,000 yen for 30,000, which is...
is it yen?
Yeah, it is yen. They don't say yen.
They don't.
She just says 50,000 for 30,000.
Yeah,
that's a steal.
That scene confused me because I was thinking dollars, right? And Usagi and Naru talk about Usagi's allowance and asking her dad for the money, and it's like, you're gonna ask him for $30,000?
Yeah, even 30,000 yen is a lot because that's $300 in American money.
That is still a lot.
Which no 14-year-old is going to get $300 from their dad.
Worth of jewelry.
Especially because, Usagi's family don't seem poor, but they don't seem super rich.
Yeah, no, they seem fairly modest.
Before all that happens,
right?
Usagi and Naru meet Naru's mom, or I guess Usagi just meets her,
right?
And
Naru's mom is weird.
Naru's mom is very weird, and
she has a weird moment where the subtitles literally said "sinister."
Really, it's a sinister.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so after all that, Usagi and Naru leave the store, and Usagi's like, hey, I should ask my dad, but probably not, because I got a poor grade.
Which is our first mention of Usagi's dad.
Yes,
who we don't actually see in the episode.
He does not appear in this episode, no.
Which is interesting to me.
I don't know that it's worth interest, because he shows up later in the show. They just didn't put him in this one for some reason.
Okay.
Maybe he was at work the whole time? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Usagi leaves Naru, they say their goodbyes, and Usagi walks back home. On her way home, she comes across a poster for the Sailor V video game.
Yes.
Which, again, Sailor V is so famous that there are video games made of her. And she just sort of has, a depression spike.
Yes.
And just
extremely relatable
Extremely relatable, and she just starts crying on the spot. She gets back up, wipes her eyes.
Well, she throws her test, right?
Right,
she's kept her test.
Yes.
And throws it.
Yeah, she goes from sad to mad about her test, throws it, it bounces off of a man. He's a man. I was going to say boy, but he's a man.
He's a man.
It bounces off of a man's head. Let's talk about his outfit for a second, because it's maybe the worst outfit anyone's ever worn.
I didn't really pay much attention outside of the purple pleated pants, which Usagi directly mentions.
Yeah, he does have purple pleated pants. He also has a, green jacket
over... Is it green?
I remember it being green. I could be wrong.
I think you're right. I think it is, dark green.
He has a green jacket over a black t-shirt, and he's just wearing these, trying so hard sunglasses.
Yes, God.
He's the dorkiest man to ever live.
He's the dorkiest man, but the dorkiest man trying to be the coolest man.
Yeah, he's trying very hard to be cool.
It just exacerbates his dork.
So he picks the test off of his head. Usagi... Sorry, before any of that happens, he says, "Watch where you're throwing things, bunhead."
Yes.
Which... is very rude, honestly.
Yes.
Usagi is 14.
Yes.
He's an adult.
Yes.
But after that, Usagi notices him, and he takes a look at the test and gets very scandalized.
He fucking berates her for her grade.
Yeah, he berates
this strange man.
This stranger berates this 14-year-old girl for her grades, and
what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, Usagi rightfully calls him a weirdo as she leaves.
Yes, and a stupid jerk and his purple pleated pants.
Right, stupid jerk. I'm not going to do this a lot, but it's worth noting, in the Deke dub, the original English dub for this show, instead of calling him a weirdo, she says, well, he is kind of cute. Which is
great, good.
A very weird change to make.
Yeah. Wait, that was a change? Like
that was a change.
The original Japanese version, she does call him.
Yeah, a major selling point of the Viz dub is that it is pretty faithful to the original.
Okay, I did notice, I know characters' names are changed in a lot of dubs, but in this one, she is called Usagi and not Serena.
Actually, I wanted to mention this earlier and forgot to. In the original dub, Umino, his name is Melvin. Which is just perfect.
That's a good name for him.
That's a good name for him.
I'm gonna just call him Melvin from now on, honestly.
So yeah, we move on from Usagi leaves that jerk taking her test back, and she goes home. She gets home, and her mom is sort of asking her to see the test.
Yes, this is also an extremely good scene. I wrote down somewhere, all of Usagi's poses are great. The show it seems like an old show, obviously.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have a lot of animation, but the individual poses that they put Usagi into are all fantastic. She is consistently adorable, and every frame of her is a mood.
Yeah, agreed. I forgot to mention something important. Before this scene, we cut to commercial. And before that, we do see the cat from earlier. And the cat talks. And it's... The cat, she says, Usagi Tsukino, I finally found you. Which is interesting to me, because she did find her earlier. That's
an excellent point.
We don't really get an explanation for why the cat didn't talk to her before now.
Yeah. Can I also add, that is not the voice I expected the cat to have. I knew about the cat, and I knew the cat could talk before watching the show.
She is voiced by Michelle Ruff, who a lot of people will probably know as Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball. She's also... Hey, guess what? She's Noir in Fire Emblem Awakening.
Excellent. I love that the cat... Do we need to keep beating...
She's Luna. Her name is Luna.
Okay. I love that Luna's voice actress also plays the daughter of the character who is voice acted by Usagi.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, I like Luna's voice in this. I think it makes more sense for her character, as we'll see later. But in the original English dub, she is voiced by... I don't know if it's always the same voice actress, but she is consistently voiced by someone putting on an old lady voice.
Oh, that seems worse.
And, yeah.
I expected her to have, like, kind of a kid voice of some sort.
Oh, okay.
But she just sounds like an adult woman, which is just a weird voice to hear coming out of a... She's very much the Salem Saberhagen of Sailor Moon.
I guess.
Salem Moon.
No, I'm cutting this.
No, don't.
She's sort of the mentor figure, so it makes sense for her to sound like an adult woman, and I get what they were going for with the old lady voice in the original dub.
Again, like, mentor figure, but...
I'm pretty sure that the voice Michelle Ruff uses in this dub is more accurate to the voice that she has in the original Japanese.
Okay.
So yeah, we see that, cut to commercial.
Yes.
Cut back, Usagi's at home, talking to her mom.
I want to mention something here, actually. She's talking to her mom, and Usagi's mom mentions that Umino came over.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And said that Usagi got her test back today, and said that he got a 95.
What a fucking dink.
He's such an asshole.
Why would he do that?
He's the worst every male character in this show so far is just a shitty person.
Yeah.
Jadeite is a fucking outright villain.
Yeah.
And then Purple Pleated Pants is a fucking dick. And Melvin is a fucking Melvin.
Yeah. So yeah, Usagi is kicked out of the house for her poor
Yes.
grade.
I love go outside and think about what
Yeah.
you've done.
This is another thing that I want to point out that was changed in the original dub. Her mom doesn't tell her to think about what she's done. Her mom says, go to the library and study. Because I guess the dub writers were like, we can't have her mom just kick her out on the street.
Yeah, no, that's fair, I feel.
guess.
Because what kind of mom... Why can't you send her to her room like a normal parent?
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
This is just the anime version of that Vine that's like, you're in timeout, get on top of the fridge.
We also run into Usagi's brother.
Yes, I did not know Usagi had a brother until watching this.
her brother Shingo.
Do they even mention his name in the episode?
Oh, I don't actually. They might not.
Because I feel like they don't.
He's also a shit. He also just kind of he berates his older sister. Teases her. She tries to do a Sailor V kick against him. And
which is also especially impressive because she just learned about Sailor V today.
Yeah, and she hasn't played the video game yet.
Yeah, maybe she's just making that up. Maybe that's not a thing.
Yeah, it might not be a thing. Usagi is sort of left outside, bereft.
Yes. We see Naru and her mom again.
We cut back to the jewelry store, and Naru's mom is just sort of in a corner, kind of
plotting. Sort of brooding.
And talking to herself loudly enough for Naru, who is also in the room, to hear that she's going to steal the energy from all the women who have bought jewelry from her sale.
Yes. Is this when we see that happening, or...?
I believe this is when we see this happening. Also, obviously, the unreveal, that Naru's mom is Morga.
Yes. Yes, because we see Jadeite actually, communicate with her telepathically.
Right, yes. So Naru is overhearing all this and is like, hey, what are you... What are you talking about, Mom?
And meanwhile, all of the women in the store are sort of collapsing.
Yeah.
As the rings and earrings and stuff that they're wearing start glowing.
Yes.
And, draining their energy.
Draining.
We see Jadeite, there's visual energy.
Yeah.
That is being drained into a sphere.
He sort of holds out his hand and has a sphere of energy in it.
Which I don't know what the fuck any of that is.
It's just, energy. He's got a crystal. He's putting it in. So Naru is freaking out, and her mom just sort of... What does her mom do to Naru?
I think her mom does sort of drop the masquerade at this point, although not fully. We see that later.
Okay.
But she is, talking sinisterly directly to her supposed daughter.
Right. And then we cut back to Usagi. She's been let inside. It's 8 p.m.
Yes. I love that the last we saw Usagi, she has been kicked out of the house.
And it's daylight.
And then next we see of her...
She's in her bedroom.
She's back in her room. She says, I'm so glad Mom finally let me back inside.
Yeah.
Which is, again, just weird, just crazy parenting to me.
It's 8 p.m. She's been out there for maybe, I don't know when...
Yeah, who knows how long,
I don't know when middle school lets out. I don't know how long her walk home was, but it was daylight, so it probably couldn't have been later than 6.
Yeah.
And it's 8 p.m. It's dark.
The fact that it's dark is also relevant to another thing that happens, which is, again, a very relatable line, but also very sort of foolish on Usagi's part, given sort of the events up to now, which is, I don't feel like doing my homework now, I think I'll take a quick nap.
Yeah, she takes an 8 p.m. quick nap.
Yes, instead of doing her homework, which would help her get better grades.
Listen, mood.
Yes, yes, absolutely same.
I do like that it is specifically a nap. She plans to wake up from this.
Quickly.
Not to just fall asleep. Not to go to bed. It's 8 p.m.
It's 8 p.m.
I guess
Usagi, you disaster.
At some point her mom might call her for dinner and wake her up. I don't know.
Dinner at 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
I feel like 6 is when... the latest.
That's an American thing, I think.
That's fair, I guess. But her nap is interrupted.
Her nap is interrupted by Luna.
Yes, who breaks into her room.
Well, she did leave the window open. Didn't she?
No, she opens the window.
Oh, Luna.
And then slams it shut.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Does the slamming shut wake up Usagi?
Yes.
Is that what happens? Okay.
And then she's like, shit, the cat. The cat with the bald spot.
Yeah, at this point, Usagi is like, oh, that cat from earlier. That's weird. Why are you here? And then Luna talks.
Yes, just talks directly to her.
Just sort of says, hey, I'm Luna. Usagi, again, does a very relatable thing, which is while Luna hops up on Usagi's bed and is, like, right in front of her, Usagi falls off of the bed onto the floor.
And just sort of cowers behind it.
Yeah, and just sort of cowers behind it. And while Luna is sort of explaining some stuff, Usagi decides to just go back to sleep, because clearly this is a dream.
Yes, that is a good moment.
Luna explains to Usagi that she is a guardian.
That Usagi is a guardian.
Usagi is a guardian, right, not
Is
Luna.
the guardian chosen for a specific mission.
Which is to find the other guardians, and to find... Does she mention the other part of the mission?
To find the other guardians and the princess.
Right, to find the moon
Which
princess,
she does not explain at all.
No, and why would
Although
she?
Usagi's kind of on board, but is also still doesn't believe that any of this is real.
Yeah.
Luna also knows about just there's weird shit going on in town.
Right, yeah.
And Sailor Moon, Usagi, needs to stop it.
Right.
I don't know why. It's not explained why Usagi is the chosen one at this point.
No, not yet.
And then Luna tries to prove that it's not a dream by, like, summoning a brooch, I guess you would call it.
She just sort of fabricates a magical brooch out of thin air and gives it to Usagi.
Which, I don't know, I'm not Usagi, but that wouldn't prove to me that it's not a dream.
Yeah.
I don't see why that would do anything.
Yeah, no.
But the best part of this is that we see the sheer depth of Usagi's love of jewelry in this scene as she takes the brooch and immediately puts it on and looks at herself in a mirror and admires it, and seems to have completely forgotten the fact that there's a talking cat in her room that has called her the chosen one.
Usagi does all that, and Luna's like, hey, say this. Say moon prism power makeup. And Usagi is like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, just immediately, she is entirely on board now.
And so she does, and we get our first Sailor Moon transformation sequence.
Yeah. Which also has baller music.
Yes, all the music in the show is fantastic.
Yes, I adore the music for the transformation sequence. So it comes up again later in what is maybe my favorite scene in this episode.
She transforms into Sailor Moon.
Yes. Can I comment on that?
Yeah,
actually? Sure. As probably most of the people listening to this probably know, but might not, the Sailor Moon gear, like the outfit, is very similar to just her school uniform. Right, Usagi's school uniform.
Worth noting also, Sailor V just wears a school uniform.
Yes, and like a tuxedo, not a tuxedo mask. That's a different thing.
Yeah,
a domino mask.
A red domino mask with a school uniform that is very similar to the one Usagi wears.
And she just has Usagi's hair, but without the buns or ponytails.
She has long blonde hair. I don't know that's the same as just having Usagi's hair.
It's pretty similar hair. Okay. She just kind of looks like Usagi, which is weird, and I wonder if that's relevant in the plot.
Maybe. Describe the outfit that Sailor Moon wears.
So it's basically just her school uniform, except it's got a red skirt instead of a blue skirt. Right. I think the skirt is slightly shorter as well.
Yes,
I think so. Like a tiara, and she's got the little bun holder things in her hair.
Yes, I believe.
Which I don't know how, logically, I don't know how those fit into her hair and keep the buns the same size. But it's magic, so
it's
whatever.
magic. Who cares?
But I did write this down, and I know this is something this is kind of it's just a show, we should really just relax kind of thing.
Yeah.
But why does Guardian gear look like a school uniform? Why is that?
Just like, 'cause...
Wouldn't it be more visually striking if she had very different outfits also?
Maybe.
Also, wouldn't that be better for her superhero identity?
It definitely would, which we might get to in future.
Okay, good, because that doesn't really come up much, but...
I think it's from a... Oh god, what is it? Watson or Doylist? What's the one that's out of universe?
Out of universe is Doylist, because it was written by Doyle.
From a Doylist perspective, her costume looks like a sailor uniform because lots of young girls wear sailor uniforms to school, and the manga is written for young girls, and it's a fantasy for them.
That is a thing I was not aware of, for the record, which I want to mention here in case there's other people who are not as familiar with Japanese culture, like I was. Girls' school uniforms in Japan just look like the same as like Japanese sailor uniforms, or similar. they're based on.
So, yeah, not necessarily all school uniforms. I don't know if this is still the style, but definitely in the setting of Sailor Moon, middle school students wear sailor uniforms. And that was true of Japan, at least for a time. I don't know if it still is.
And the male uniforms are, like, based on the army, right?
Yes, yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of sailors? Okay.
The, like, high collar, button up.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, Usagi transforms, and fairly has a panic attack.
Yes, valid. Absolutely valid.
And while she's panicking, she hears through her, like, bun gems.
Yes. Her
Naru.
Which the subtitles call radio.
Okay.
Which is interesting to me.
She hears through her radio.
Her radio buns.
I don't think this power ever comes up again, by the way.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
She hears Naru's cries for help as
Right.
she is being attacked by her
Yeah.
fake mom.
So she goes off to save her friend. Does she decide to do that of her own volition, or does Luna sort of...
I think Luna encourages her,
Okay.
but Usagi is genuinely like, "Ah, shit, my friend's in trouble. I gotta help her."
So cut back to the jewelry store.
Yes.
Naru is...
Being accosted
by
her-
Morga,
Yes.
her mother.
Who at this point...
Who at this point actually explained that no, she's locked Naru's mom in the basement.
Yes. Which is especially interesting to me because she says, "I'm going to kill her and I'm going to kill you and and send you both to the world of the dead." That's interesting to me because why didn't she just kill her mom before?
Maybe she's taking the energy from Naru's mom?
Oh, maybe. That's actually a good explanation.
Yeah, she doesn't explicitly say that, but we can probably assume.
Yeah.
Naru is being accosted, and Sailor Moon arrives.
Wait, no,
does she not?
Before that, Morga transforms.
Oh, right.
She shows her true form.
Yes, so Morga, in a very, like, kind of... It's like body horror for kids.
Yeah, it's genuinely kind of creepy.
Her, like, skin tightens around her face.
Yeah, she's got a very gaunt, sort of ghoulish...
And, like, kind of looks decayed.
Yeah, she's got, like, claws and stuff now.
An interesting thing about this sequence, actually, is that the Deke dub for Sailor Moon had a different theme song. And edited the visuals for some reason.
Really?
They removed...
Wait,
like,
a dub edited the visuals of the show?
Yeah. They removed a lot of the, like, just sort of abstract stuff from the opening and replaced it with, like, clips from episodes. So,
is that clip in that?
Yeah, the Morga transformation is in the opening.
That's weird.
Sailor Moon. So, Morga transforms and is terrifying.
And then Sailor Moon arrives. Which also adds another layer to how terrifying Morga is, because Morga turns her head, and turns her head completely around.
Yep, forgot about that.
Like, I was not expecting this from Sailor Moon.
No.
That was genuinely some Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island bullshit.
Yeah, that's the reference. That's
a scary movie, fuck you.
Okay, fair enough. Sailor Moon arrives and introduces herself as Sailor Moon, the guardian who fights for love and for justice.
Yes, which is... I don't know if Luna taught her that sort of opening, or if she's just improving.
She might be improving.
I like the idea that she's improving.
And she's gonna punish Morga.
Yeah. And then...
and then immediately... Morga sicks all of the ladies
First she says what is, again, another of my favorite lines from this episode, which is, "Are those stupid catchphrases supposed to scare me?" Right, okay, yeah. Which is a wonderful thing for a villain to say.
Yeah. Especially the villain of the first episode.
Yes, I just want to comment, in general, like, it feels like there's a lot of self-referential sort of stuff in this first episode that is, like, genuinely... interesting to me.
I think some of that might be because it's an anime adaptation of a manga.
Right.
Maybe all of that was in the manga to begin with. I'm not sure.
Right.
Because, again, the manga is based off of Sailor V, which had, a pretty long run before Sailor Moon started.
Okay, so it could be, like, referencing Sailor V in the original manga.
So Morga then sicks all the ladies whose energy she's absorbed.
Yes, they're zombies now.
She now has control over them, and she sicks them on Usagi.
Yes, and they all attack.
And Usagi is fairly unequipped to handle this.
Yes, and also, this is where they use the transformation sequence music again.
Right, yes.
And it's my favorite part because there's just this peppy fucking ooh, Sailor Moon playing over a bit where a woman tries to shiv Usagi with a fucking broken glass bottle.
There's a lady who just has a broken glass bottle with her. I don't know why. Was she day drinking at the jewelry store?
Maybe it's root beer?
Okay.
I also don't know how common root beer is in Japan.
Here's how I know it wasn't root beer. That was cut from the Deke dub.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, the woman actually does cut Usagi.
Yes, she cuts her knee.
Usagi starts bleeding and, again, fairly starts crying.
Yes. Luna is aghast at this.
As Usagi is crying, this is apparently a very tall jewelry store because in a window...
Yeah, wait, it's in a mall too.
I don't think it is. I think it's just...
Is it not? Okay.
I think it's in maybe a strip mall, but
okay.
In a window above the door to the store.
Yes.
A mysterious man in a tuxedo and top hat
and a domino mask,
black
domino mask
appears and basically
throws a rose in front of Usagi, which just sort of distracts Morgan from killing her.
Right. And he basically just says, "Hey, get your shit together."
Yeah, hey, hi, I'm Tuxedo Mask, Usagi. Man the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, he does say Sailor Moon. He knows who Sailor Moon is.
Which is weird.
Yeah. Also, interestingly, he's voiced by the same actor as the shitty purple pleated plants boy from earlier.
Weird.
Hey, that's weird, huh?
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's probably not relevant to anything.
Yeah, probably not. I'm sure. That's...
So he gives Usagi a motivational speech.
Not at all, actually. He outright...
Did you write down?
He says, crying isn't going to solve any of your problems. And then Usagi says, I know, but I can't help it, and keeps crying. And then, as she's crying, her radio buns...
Oh yeah, her radio buns emit a shockwave.
Yes, which...
Again... Don't think that comes up again.
That's a shame, because that's a great power.
Yeah.
Because the thing I fucking love about that scene is that Tuxedo Mask is crying isn't going to solve any of your problems, and then crying immediately solves her problems.
Yeah. So she blasts the women away, and... with
a weird psychic cry.
And
from her radio buns.
Luna says, "Hey, throw your tiara. Make sure you say..." No, wait, does she tell Usagi the words to say?
Yes, she says, say Moon Tiara action.
Luna just knows that you can't use your powers without saying weird catchphrases.
Yes, of course.
So Usagi...
Well, if you could, then there could be false starts, you know?
That's fair.
You don't want to start Moon Tiara action while the tiara's on your head. It'll cut your scalp off.
Yeah. So Usagi does so. Again, awesome music plays.
Yes, I assume this sequence is stock footage, because I can't imagine they would animate something so carefully that they don't use again.
They use this a lot.
Okay.
Usagi throws her tiara, it becomes a sort of energy disc.
Yes.
And it destroys Morga.
Yeah, she fucking kills her.
Yeah, Morga just dies.
Usagi didn't know that was going to happen.
No.
So Luna just told a 14-year-old to kill a woman.
Listen, she's a weird demon creature.
Yes. She's a murderous monster.
Yeah.
And it's fair. It's just... that's a lot.
That is a lot for Usagi.
I noted down, Usagi kills a sapient being.
Okay. I don't know how sapient they are. We'll get to that later, maybe.
Okay, interesting.
Usagi kills Morga and frees all the ladies from the curse.
Yes. I don't know. That's weird.
All the jewelry.
They drain their energy. If she drained their energy, how do they get up and walk?
I don't
Whatever.
know. All the
jewelry.
All the jewelry falls off of them and breaks. Naru is safe.
That's a shame about the jewelry breaking. Naru's mom is not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, no, and Tuxedo Mask leaves.
After being actively unhelpful, really.
Yeah.
Really just kind of distracted Morga for a second by throwing a rose.
Yeah.
A lot of roses in anime. I'm not against it. I like it.
No, roses are good. And everything's done. It's safe. Usagi saved the day. Sailor Moon saved the day.
We cut to
sort of the denouement.
Yes, which is at the school again.
Yeah, the next
where
day
Naru
at school.
and another girl talk about how they had the same dream
Yeah,
about
okay, yes. Yeah.
about being saved by Sailor Moon
Yeah.
from a monster lady in a jewelry store.
Yeah, so they think it was all a dream, I guess.
And then Usagi is also there, but is exhausted.
Just exhausted,
And that
fairly.
is the moment I realized, like, I noted this down in my notes as well. Becoming a superhero by moonlight is going to fuck up Usagi's sleep schedule even more.
Yeah, that's fair. She's not even gonna have time to find love by daylight.
Yeah. But she didn't do any of in this episode.
No, not in this episode. We'll get to that later.
In the theme song. But also, the theme song is untranslated, so I didn't actually realize that was what they were saying.
No, so here's the thing about the theme song. It has completely different lyrics in English.
Really?
The Moonlight Legend, the Japanese theme, has completely different lyrics.
Okay.
From Sailor Moon, the theme for the Deke dub.
Okay. But it's the same, like, tune.
It's the same instrumentals, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, the episode ends.
Uh-huh.
Usagi's exhausted.
Very little has been explained.
Very little has been explained.
Which I think is fair. Because I was thinking about this while watching, actually. This was also my experience with Utena.
Mm-hmm.
And also my experience with my favorite anime, which is Steven Universe.
Right, of course.
Steven Universe does obviously have, like, a lot of anime influences.
Right.
And something all three of those shows I noticed have in common. And also, I would say, from what little I have seen so far of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood,
Mm-hmm.
they set up a lot of concepts in the early stages of the show.
Right.
Without expanding on them.
Yes.
And generally either seem to do that by, like, either their character is already familiar, like, the main character is already familiar with certain stuff.
Right.
Or they're a dumbass and don't ask questions.
Right, yes. Which Usagi is the latter.
Yes. Utena is also kind of the latter, but also there's stuff where,
right.
she knows that the audience doesn't seem to know.
Right.
Like, there's things about her world that we're used to. And Steven is a child.
Right. The same age as Usagi, for the record.
That's true, I didn't think of that.
Usagi is 14, Steven is 14.
Yeah, huh. That's interesting.
They're drawn very differently.
They're drawn extremely differently. Steven's supposed to be short, though.
That's fair, yeah.
I guess we're kind of moving into the final thoughts.
Yeah.
Sort of. Oh, actually, wait, there's other stuff I want to comment on that I noted down. First of all, the credit sequence. The credit sequence music didn't grab me as much as the
I didn't write down what the credit sequence music is called. I should have done that.
We can hit that next episode, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
So the music and the credit sequence didn't grab me as much as the other two. The sequence itself is Usagi, like, standing in the rain in the dark, in front of, like, a pool of water on which, like, her reflection is, or, like, her she's silhouetted, and there's the moon in the reflection, as well as, like, some lights, some weird lights that are weird, and I don't know what they're supposed to be. Yeah. Maybe comets or something?
Maybe.
Do you know what they are?
I don't.
Okay. I was wondering if you were just being cryptic, or...
No, I don't know.
And then we also see what seems to be Tuxedo Mask in the credit sequence, who approaches Usagi from behind, and Usagi turns around and hugs him.
Right, yes.
And that's about when the credit sequence ends.
Yes.
And then there's, like, a close-up on Usagi's silhouetted face.
Right.
And then there's a Next Time On.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
Did you watch the Next Time On?
I didn't.
Okay.
You can talk about it.
It features, basically, Usagi tries to read Luna's fortune in the Next Time On, and Luna's like, no, we have to focus on fighting monsters and shit. And Usagi's like, also, that fortune teller has weird things have been happening to the people who read their fortune. Have her read their fortune. And we see a fortune teller, a sinister-looking fortune teller woman, with a bunch of zombie people, including Umino, who's become a zombie.
Oh.
Melvin, sorry. And these villains sure just like mind control, huh?
Yeah, well, gotta steal the energy, gotta have mooks.
Gotta steal the energy. Why not just make monster mooks instead of human mooks?
We'll get to that later.
Okay, that's fair. Also, I noted, Usagi standing in the dark by the water in the middle of the night doing nothing seems out of character. Should be sleeping.
Right, fair, yeah.
And the Next Time On ends with the moonlight is a messenger of love.
Yeah.
And I assume, is that just a thing? Because Utena also had, like, here's our Next Time On, and here's a specific phrase that is at the end of every, in completely unrelated to the episodes or anything.
Every next time on Utena ends with the absolute destiny apocalypse.
Yes, which is hardcore and metal and great.
Yeah, I believe the moonlight is a messenger of love is just a thing they say at the end of the next time.
Those are the two genders also. The moonlight is the messenger of love and the absolute destiny apocalypse.
Okay, that's fair.
That was interesting to me. And I had nothing else to... Music is very good.
Music is very good. So what did you think generally of this episode?
It intrigued me a lot. I like I talked about the style of giving you a lot of sort of information without explaining any of it is an interesting way of doing things to me,
right.
I think. I think it's a good way of getting people invested. Not just necessarily setting up the entire premise right in the first episode.
Right. A lot of anime does the thing where the first episode will just be like a voiceover that's like 1,000 years ago. The koalas from space attacked, and now we're all in high school.
Yeah. This also, it seems like we kind of again, Steven Universe, it seems like we mostly, with the exception of the cutaways to the villains, seem to learn things at the same pace that Usagi does.
Yeah, there are some sequences later on, I think, where Usagi doesn't know things that we do.
Okay.
There are definitely there are things that are hinted is a generous way to phrase it, but there are things that are hinted at that we can figure out pretty much instantly,
right.
And Usagi takes the whole season to figure out.
Okay.
But generally, yeah, we learn a lot of stuff at the same time that the main characters do.
Yes, which is neat. I like that, and it makes me want to watch more. I want to know, why is Usagi the chosen one?
Yeah.
Who are the other guardians?
Yeah.
Because we see Orange and Blue Girl in the opening. Well, we see girl with orange cape and blue cape.
Right. I guess it is orange in the opening. That's weird because her color is red.
Okay. I'm guessing that's Mars.
Yeah, that's Mars.
Okay. So we know that there's other sailors.
Mm-hmm.
We know there's a princess.
Which
I know a thing about, but
we know
Tuxedo Masks exists.
He exists. He's around,
and we don't know what his deal is. He knows who Sailor Moon is.
He knows Sailor Moon.
He's not fazed by monsters.
He just has roses.
He has roses. He got up in that window somehow.
He has a cape.
Well, that doesn't mean you can...
Yeah, it does.
Just wearing a cape doesn't mean you can fly.
Superman can fly because he has a cape.
No.
Like Mario.
Well, okay, you know what? That is true of Mario. I'll give you that one.
Tuxedo Mario,
yeah. Super mask.
I'm cutting all of that.
Please don't. But yeah, it's intriguing to me. I like Usagi as a character a lot.
Yeah.
I hate...
No doubles.
Pretty much everyone else.
Do you hate Luna?
I don't hate Luna.
Okay.
I'm confounded a bit by Luna because she's a bit of a shitty mentor so far.
Yeah, well, listen.
She needs to fucking get with the program. She's talking to a 14-year-old.
She is talking to a 14-year-old.
Be a little clearer, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe also lead into the talking.
How would you do that?
Yeah, that's fair.
How do you, a cat, introduce yourself in such a way that you opening your mouth and human words coming out isn't fucking wild?
I guess there isn't really a way to... I guess you kind of just have to, if you pardon the pun, rip that off like a Band-Aid.
Yeah, great.
If you cut that, I'll kill you.
I'll cut that. I'll cut your threat.
I liked it.
I'm
intrigued. Okay. And I want to see more. I don't hate Naru. Naru's fine.
Naru's good, I think.
Naru's, again, kind of a Wataba, and I like Wataba.
Yeah.
And just Usagi just has more charisma, enough charisma to make up for the entire rest of the cast.
Yeah, that's fair.
And her mom is great, because she's weird.
Her mom is such a weirdo.
But yeah, I liked it, and I'm intrigued to see more.
So, yeah. How do we end this?
I don't know. This is a new experimental thing for us.
Cool. Thanks for listening to Late to School. You can find me at Larena27 on Twitter.
And you can find me at Frylord Zarek.
And you can find both of us at late_school. And thank you to Kevin MacLeod for use of his song Semi-Funk.
The moonlight is a messenger of love.
Good. Thank you. I'm sorry.
That was very fast. That you
fuck. Why won't it fucking?
Can we keep this in?
Maybe I'll have to. Where's my mouse?
Where's your mouse? There it is.
Where's the key for stop? There isn't one.
There's no. It doesn't
Cool.
say.